Question of the day. What's your favorite legacy game? Because today...
And why is it Pandemic Legacy?
That's a good question because that is a phenomenal game still. That. I don't know the accent there going. But today we're talking about the legacy of Isla Nublar, the Jurassic World. Ironic, though, even though we're going to do our best not to spoil anything in this review as much as we can. If there's weird cuts in this review, it's because I said something spoilery. Anyway, I'm going to move this out of the way, but we're going to talk. It's hard. We can't even really talk about how to play this game because I can't show you anything. The whole map is covered. The map changes. The map changes based on our game and your game, but we're going to do a good job.
I mean, there's dinosaurs.
There are dinosaurs. In fact, there's DNA.
In fact, there's even DNA. I don't know. That could be a spoiler.
Dino DNA.
But obviously, if you've seen Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, you know that DNA is involved.
I don't have a lot of qualms about spoiling a movie that came out 20, 30, 31, 29 years ago. So there is that. But anyway, 1993, I think. Anyway, because today we're talking about Legacy of Isla Nublar, I'm going to give you a brief overview how it's played, and then we're going to talk final thoughts. We may even scoot to a spoiler section, but we're going to keep the final thoughts spoiler free at first. So if you've been on the fence about this and wanting to hear some thoughts about it, listen to what we say first when it comes to spoiler free. And if you want to know more about it, we'll talk spoilers. All right, so this is Legacy of Isla Nublar. This is spoiler free, but I'll show you some stuff at the end with spoilers if you want to see our board. Now, I'm probably going to cut here in a second because I'm sure that when I put this back, because we finished the whole thing, that there's a bunch of stuff on top that you're not going to want to see. But I'm going to show you the stuff I can show you. Case in point, this is the board inside of here. If I showed you this, you would be upset with me. So this is the board. It's really nice. At the end, I'm going to show you if you want to see it. You get a folio over here. I can't show you because it shows you kind of what to do, where to go, all that sort of stuff. And if you win, do this. If you lose, do this. There are benefits for if you win a mission. There's actually negative things if you win a mission to make it harder. If you lose a mission, it makes it easier. The game is not about fighting dinosaurs or getting away from dinosaurs. It's about running the park. So I'm going to move this again. It's going to be a cut because I just looked at the top of the box and there are massive spoilers. So inside of here are the item cards. Now you're going to get certain items to start with. They'll say starter items. These are things that you can use. Maybe they'll let you refresh your action tokens. Maybe they'll let you move a little further. Maybe they'll let you herd a dinosaur, because essentially what you're going to be doing, you're going to be moving around a board, herding dinosaurs. Then the dinosaurs, you'll be doing puzzles. There'll be certain puzzles. I don't want to tell you what they are necessarily, but there are puzzles that you'll be doing. And then also at the end of your round, the dinosaurs will activate. And it activates based on certain event spaces in the bottom. Let's see if I can show you that part of the map without spoiling it. I'm going to open it up here and show you. You're going to, let's see. Okay, I'm just going to show you the very bottom of the map. See right down here? Each sector corresponds to a sector on the board. You'll flip over a card and that sector, you'll do what it says. Maybe you'll attack with a dinosaur. Maybe the dinosaur will just sit still. Maybe an herbivore will move. Maybe a carnivore will move. But that's what happens here. And I can't show you the rest of this map because ours is completely different from what yours will be. Now, as you unlock stuff in the game, you're going to be opening new mechanics. And as you learn those new mechanics, I'm going to show you this fantastic little tip here. I'm going to kind of keep actually, no, I can show you this one, the general rules. You'll get this thing here. It's a ring of cards that has a ring on it. You'll add cards to these. You'll take cards out of these when it comes to learning new rules. So it's a lot, but it beats a rules reference book in my opinion, because you can quickly flip to one. You can leave it sitting there open and it's a card facing you. Most of them are front and back. I can show you those sector cards. Actually, the sector cards will look like this. They're going to be based on that. Painted a pumpkin today, did the NWO, and that's what's happening here. This will be what it says. So it'll be like, this one, this comes into play later. That's not a spoiler because these cards are in the beginning of the game. It's not something secret, but essentially the weather changes and it does affect you later on. But this tells you, okay, so this herbivore will move east in whatever sector this card's on. This carnivore will attack and then move west. So things will happen and you can mitigate those attacks. You can mitigate those dangers. Sometimes there will be dinosaur danger cards. And then in each mission, which there are a bunch of these envelopes just chock full of content right here, there are tokens. And this tokens, there's cards, there's maps, there's everything in here that you need for each mission. There's new characters and they're all really, really cool inside of there. So that's about all I can show you because you're going to be moving around the board. You're going to take care of the dinosaurs and fulfill your objective for each mission. And each mission has a different objective completely based on, and I tell you what, I'm actually going to show you the tutorial because this is the tutorial. It's not a spoiler. So this is the tutorial. It is this nice comic book. They all look amazing. And inside of here, it's John Hammond's dream. So the prologue doesn't have any permanent changes to the board. You see what you get here? This is not a spoiler because literally this is the first thing you do. These characters are available at the beginning. The prologue is a little boring. So if you're going to play this and expect it, it's not quite like this the whole time. So I'll actually show you a couple things in here since these are the beginning of the game. The prologue, you're going to be figuring out what to do with your map, and you're going to be making permanent changes to your map. There are stickers galore, all that sort of stuff. These characters are available at the beginning. You're going to put these spaces out on the board in a random place. You have barriers. The barriers will keep dinosaurs in. Roads will allow you to move faster, or you can lead other people. But you also have these legacy cards, and these legacy cards will be, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Well, actually, there's not one for round 4, and then round 5. Don't look at them, but you turn them up at the beginning of the round. And so that is essentially all that I can show you without spoilers. Again, you're seeing all this setup here, seeing which characters are available. Then it says stop. To learn to play continues, play the adventure. But anyway, learn how to play. I'm going to show you the objectives of the prologue. If you want to look, fine. If you don't, skip ahead about a minute. So in the objective here, you've got a puzzle out here in which you're going to be moving these tokens. You're going to shuffle them randomly, and then you're going to get into the building and then move them around. I don't want to show you the building, but you're going to move these around to make sure that you get this same configuration. There's other puzzles here in which you're going to be moving boxes around until you have 3 in a row of, in this case, purple. And then down here, you're going to be placing these out. Now, that is the prologue. Again, I show you that because it does not make any permanent changes to your board. And also, it's the first thing you do. So that is not a spoiler, but that is how you play Isla Nublar, the Legacy of Isla Nublar. Now, so that's as much as we can show you. Obviously, couldn't show you the board. I couldn't really show you the cards. I could show you the dinosaurs.
Can we show them the board in a second?
Yeah, at the end, we'll show you our board, basically, and kind of show you.
But it's like a spoiler.
It is a big-time spoiler, and I don't want to do that. So
I don't mind doing that if I tell you.
It's true.
You just don't have to watch it.
If you've been told there's a spoiler, you can't be upset about it.
It's on you if you look.
That's right.
It's not like comicbook.com.
That's right. Yeah, where it's in the headline.
They just put in the headline that somebody died on House of the Dragons.
Yeah, but their thumbnail is always that person. I'm like, what a terrible spoiler. And I'm not even a big stickler about spoilers, but that's annoying.
Mm-hmm. And I was only like a day behind.
Anyway, so that's true. Not like 29 years. So let's talk about Isla Nublar. Let's talk about art first. The game looks good. I like the art style.
I like it because, in legacy games, there's typically missions, and the comic book, is that a spoiler?
No.
Okay, good. Each mission is designed with a comic book to tell you what to do, which is really cool, and the art's really good.
Yeah, it's very good art. It reminds me of early 90s comic book art, and I really appreciate that. A couple of components that we can talk about. So art is pretty quick. I will say, component-wise, I love the way the dinosaurs look. I don't like the thinness of the boards. Everything except the main board is paper thin, and that, including the tokens for the puzzles.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, I don't know if I can tell you that because I don't even think you do it in the prologue. Maybe you do. It's been so long since we played the prologue, but there are 3 puzzles that are the majority of the game, and those puzzle pieces are wafer thin, like super, super thin, and it's kind of annoying when it comes to it. It's not the biggest thing in the world because it still looks good, but
what you put those things on is very thin.
Yeah, there we go. What you put those things on is paper thin. I'm going to give you another tip really quick, though, that we left this game on our table until we finished it. Now, it took us...
Most people can't do that.
You can't do that. I understand that. But if you hear us say that, it's because we didn't want to take it down and set it up. Now, you might be playing it and taking it down and setting it up, and that might be an issue.
That would probably be a pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I might like it less had I done that.
True. Before we go into the final thoughts of the game, besides, before we go art direction into the gameplay, one other quibble I have is the fact that the Kickstarter exclusives, while they look really cool, well, the tokens are great. Those look amazing. The little wooden tokens of the idea tokens and the danger tokens.
So on the Kickstarter, does it show you what you're getting?
I think so. I think it told you what you're getting, but you unlock dinosaurs. That's not really a spoiler. You're going to unlock more dinosaurs, but the problem is the Kickstarter ones are these nice amber-looking dinosaurs, but it's only the main starter 4, and so the ones you unlock
doesn't really help you.
No, and actually, because
we didn't play with them.
You have herbivores and carnivores, it's easier to quickly spot red and green.
I don't know that you should say all that.
No, there's definitely herbivores. That's Dr. Ian Malcolm said. That's one big pile. Anyway, there are herbivores and carnivores. I recommend putting those amber ones on a shelf or giving them to your daughter like we're doing, and playing with the reds and green ones just because it's easier to spot it.
I don't know that we knew we were opening a dinosaur when we opened a dinosaur, so I think you just told them a lot of stuff.
Look, when you open the box, you see there are little boxes that are the exact same size as dinosaurs. And I'm just saying.
Are dinosaurs this big?
Yeah,
Like real ones?
Yeah, real dinosaurs were tiny. That's why they weren't as ferocious as it seems. It's crazy history. A little history lesson for you. Dinosaurs, tiny little dinosaurs. T-Rex, not even menacing.
You're lying.
I might be lying. But anyway, art direction of the game, everything's pretty straightforward. There were no symbols that were like, what the heck does that symbol mean? But if you do, this is something I did not think I was going to like, but actually really found handy, was a little ring rule book. Like, it's the reference guide, but it's a ring, like a little ring, and you put the reference card.
Show them that.
Oh yeah, I'll show you that. The reference card is really cool. Like I think that was handy. To me, that was faster than flipping to a book because I could go, okay.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, that I like. The game, the pieces look great. The art is great. Like the character art's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
The art.
Now, let's talk about how the game plays. Now, I will start off saying that I did hear a lot of the other reviews and things. I usually don't do that. I usually don't listen to reviews before we play a game. And I thought, oh no, did we?
We're going to not like this. This was a lot of money. We're not going to like it. But we tried it anyway.
And I'll tell you right now, we really like this game. Like
we played it all the way through.
And we're excited to play it all the way through.
I don't finish games I don't like.
No, there's one sitting on the table that you can't see right now. Carla's like, I think we're done with this.
I don't love it. But like, it's not a Seafall for me.
It's not a no. Good Lord.
We didn't finish Seafall.
Oh, I did read the end of it. Gee, that got dark, didn't it? Anyway.
Wait, why?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for a game that no one played and bought, but you go.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like what I said got dark. I didn't realize.
No.
Part of the game that I don't know the
Seafall
ending
got
of.
really dark. It went some Event Horizon dark, if you know what I mean. In fact, Sam Neill's in this game too. What do you know?
I don't understand the reference.
Sam Neill was a guy. He was in Anyway, let's talk about how the game plays. So first and foremost, the game is majority played by you pick a character, and it will tell you which characters you can play, and it will tell you which characters you can use their influence of history on the part. Now, I will tell you this. This is not a spoiler. You're going to play through all the stories of the movies, essentially, except for the one that just came out, which was terrible.
It's probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, where there was 40 minutes of a good movie, and then they were like, what if we also do this other movie at the same time? You're like, why is the lady from Severance chasing people down with dinosaurs? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, so you do play through the entire legacy, see what I did there, of Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. And you start with where you think you would start, and you end where you think you would end. So I don't want to give any spoilers away with that. Now, as far as...
It's kind of obvious.
It's called the legacy. I mean, look.
It's called Jurassic.
It's got the characters from Jurassic World on the front, so you're obviously going to play Jurassic World too. And when it comes to the game itself, the main mechanics, I do want to make a real quick note. We played this at 2.
Yes, I would never play it with more than 2. Never. You wouldn't have enough actions, and even in the book, it doesn't scale up. Like, you know, sometimes when you play Pandemic, you could each play like 2 characters each, and there's enough actions to go around. I don't feel it would work out very well with more than 2 people in this. No,
I totally agree. So the way it works is the majority of every mission has a twist based on the story that you're playing, but you're doing these 3 puzzles, or 2 really that you have to do, and 1 that helps you. Obviously, you can't do it. And there's a 4th one that comes, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to tell you what it is, but you're doing these puzzles, and the problem is this. You have, I think, 9 action tokens between you.
And if you play with 2 people, you get those 9 actions. If you play with 4 people, you get those 9 actions.
Hear what I'm saying when I say this.
But
so
then you take 1 token to move so many spaces, and that's wasted in action. And if you're playing with 4 characters, it's going to take a lot more of those.
Case in point, let's say you're moving inside of a building and then doing one of the puzzles. If you move inside of the building with 1 action, with 1 character, then you have 3 more actions to spend on the actual puzzle. Think about this conversely. If you're playing with 4 players and you only get 2 actions each, I could move in
and do 1 movement of a puzzle.
But then another action I would have taken doing the puzzle is someone else maybe moving in and taking it. So you're actually scaling down. So I do not recommend this at 4. I didn't play it at 4, but we very much see that you will not.
I think it would be problematic if you played it with more than 2.
Yeah.
I think 1 can be fine.
Actually, yeah, if you play 1, I would recommend playing 2 characters still, because you're going to need that push and pull of, I'll go here while you do this.
I didn't read the rules for that, so I don't
Actually, does he play just 1? Regardless, 2 characters is, to me, the best. I don't think you play with 3. We even thought at one point, for instance, if you got the Kickstarter, it tells you one of the things you can do on mission 8, and we went, nope, not going to do that. Don't want to do it. So anyway, let's dive into the meat of the game. I like the puzzles. I think the puzzles of this game are fantastic.
I like them. I feel like you're doing pretty much the same thing puzzle-wise each mission, but it's a different one of those things. It's kind of like you've played Mansions of Madness.
First edition. Or even second edition.
Or even second on the app. I mean, you know which puzzles are coming.
Yeah, you know it's one of those sequence puzzles. You're like, oh, I love a sequence puzzle.
I mean, it's not like that specifically.
No, but you are moving tiles around or you're trying to do something. But they're puzzles, and I like that aspect of it. I really enjoyed every mission doing that. And then plus you get the cards that go, oh, dang, this is going to really mess us up because this dinosaur shows up.
And I think we won most missions. We lost one. But I think that some of the ones we won, I think we only won because we lucked out at the beginning and got the right character.
And the right cards.
Combo.
Yeah. For instance, some characters, you'll unlock vehicles as the game goes on. And they let you move.
Spoiler.
Well, I mean, you do. Those vehicles all over the movie, right? But you unlock some vehicles, and you move much faster for free with those vehicles. So having that, it's not that big of a spoiler.
That's a big one.
But the other thing is, the strategy in this game is being smart with what you do with the dinosaurs, because you're going to be able to build certain things on the park that will allow you to mitigate danger. Because at first, you play the game and you think, oh, crud, we're just defending against dinosaurs rampaging and killing. Really and truly.
Everything about the game now?
No, we want the dinosaurs to be alive. Because the way you lose is you get a certain number of tokens flipped over and they have numbers on the back. If you ever get 5 or more, you'll lose that mission. So when a dinosaur dies, it's bad. When a character dies, it's bad. Sometimes when another type of character dies, it's even worse. Or sometimes it's not that big of a deal.
Sometimes you just gotta let them go.
Sometimes you gotta let them go.
You saw that movie.
With the lawyer, Donald Gennaro. He was on the pot. He got ripped up out there. All I've got on my team are the blood-sucking lawyers. Anyway, that was a terrible accent. I'm really good with that accent normally, but I just chose not to do it. Anyway.
You chose not to do it, or you didn't successfully execute?
Spared no expense. And that was like a Sean Connery. Anyway.
He's not in it.
You know what, though? He'd have been a great Johnny Hammond. I'm just saying. Point being, the game to us was fantastic. However, this is where I want to draw my major complaint. The replayability of this game, because it's one of those legacy games where you can replay more stuff, is the last mission. I hated the last mission.
Oh, yes. I did hate the last mission. The first
9. Yeah, it tells you it's 9.
The first 9 were great. Liked it. But then, like, number 10 just changed.
It turns it on its head. You have to do something completely different.
Something different from the goal you started with. And I was like, well, this is dumb.
And very difficult to do. Like, it's very hard to do what you have to do in the 10th mission. And that's the one that's replayable. I would much rather go. I guess you could go back in time and play some of the other ones. And granted, your board will change, obviously. But that last mission was such a letdown that it went from being like I'd still give the game a really high score because we enjoyed the heck out of playing it together.
We had fun.
We had a lot of fun playing this game, but at the end we were like, dang, I don't like this last mission at all.
I did not. If the rest of the game was that, I would have hated it.
I mean, we're talking about game-breaking new rules. We're talking about you have to change what you do. You had to learn
a lot of new rules just for the last one.
Yeah. The twist in the middle of the whole set of games is really cool. I love what it does. It's brilliant how it does it.
I do like that.
I just think it's such a well-done game. I know there are detractors out there, but every time we played, we would go, I don't know. I just really like that. The slow parts of setting it up.
Yes.
Even though we had it on the table.
Ours was on the table, but I would see that it would be a pain if you had to set it up for all the missions.
Even going in between missions 3, 4, 5, 6, it was like, oh,
there's a lot going on to end a mission to begin another mission.
Yeah. A whole set of steps that you have to do to end a mission, and then a whole set of steps you got to do to begin. Then you have to choose your characters and figure out what you can and can't do this mission.
And who
shuffle
can and
these
can't
cards.
Play, who can do what.
Exactly. So there's like, I can see that'd be a pain if you were having to take out of the box fresh, because even for us, it was like, man, this is a pain. We would be like, all right, let's play 2 missions back to back. We'd finish one and go, ooh, let's do that tomorrow.
Yeah, I said I'm not petting this up. No.
But my final thoughts of the game, I'll let Karla speak for herself. But I really like this. I do recommend this to people. However, I recommend it to couples or 2 people, not 4. Don't get a group of 4. It just won't work. And I say that almost objectively and emphatically. Mathematically, it will not work. You will not be able to do what you need to be done, what you need to do with 4 people. It just doesn't work. You have the actions you need, and we had a extra action between us that we could spend. So I would have 4, she would have 4.
And then the action that you share.
And that came in clutch so many times where it was like, wait, you need one more move for that puzzle? Well, I'll just do this, this, and this, and you can take the extra action this turn. Or she said, she'd be like, I'll take the extra action and you just do this stuff here. And it just works. So at 2 players, this game to me is an 8. I really, really like this game, except the ending.
No,
it would be an 8.5.
An 8 at the end.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to give it an 8.5. No, that's my thoughts.
I'm disagreeing with you.
You can disagree. I would have given it an 8.5. The final mission soured me enough to drop it down all the way to an 8. I know that's not a big difference, but
that's literally not jumping. That's like, hey, I got a 100. Oh, actually, I only got a 99.
Okay, how about this? Now that you've made me rethink it, I do think you're right. I think it drops it from an 8.5 all the way to a 7.5. Still a good score. My kid brings home a 75 on a math test and be like, you know what, that was pretty good.
She doesn't.
She's really smart. Anyway. That's my thoughts on it. The last mission does sour it only because it's the replayable mission. If it was a throwaway, it wouldn't faze me. But because it's the one you can replay, I'm never going to replay that mission.
We gave our little girl the dinosaurs.
She loves them.
She loves them. But for the first 9 missions, it's a great game with 2 people. I loved it. But last one, tanks it. I'd give it a 6.5.
6.5. You heard it here, folks. If you average those out, that comes out to a 7.0. I don't think you have to do it by an average. But that is our spoiler-free review.
I think there was a few spoilers.
There was a couple spoilers. Mostly my fault, like I said. I don't know that we're going to need to do a spoiler review. I mean, if you want to look at our board, you can. I'll show some of those videos now.
And then the action tokens, you can show them and some of the things.
Yeah. So that is Legacy of Isla Nublar. If you were on the fence.
It is fun. It's a fun experience.
Mm-hmm. The last mission sours it. The art's good. Cheaper components than I would like.
The art's great in the comic books that you get.
Those are good. And you get a ton of content. This is a heavy box for a reason. There's a lot of stuff in here. I mean, a lot of stuff.
I mean, if you're a fan of
the whole property, the whole IP, yeah. You'll like this a lot.
I like it.
So that's it. That is Legacy of Isla Nublar. Don't forget the merch store opened yesterday. So make sure to go check out the merch store, dicetowerstore.com. We cannot wait. We have so many new ideas coming. It's going to be fantastic. So I'm Bryan Drake. This is Karla. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Dice Tower Bryan. We're always putting games and stuff up there. Yeah. And let us know what you think in the comments below of Legacy of Isla Nublar. Keep it spoiler-free. Spoiler-free.
I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it bothers other people.
Bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers. When he ruins a movie, it's spoiler-free. Anyway, stupid. Right. Anyway, Dice Tower Bryan. Till next time, we'll see you. For those who are sticking around for the spoilers, I did want to show you our map. So our map looks like this at the end. And what's really cool is in the beginning of the game, and I tried to peel the sticker off, honestly, but I couldn't get it to peel off without breaking. The beginning of the game, this up here says Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World. And all of these spaces look like the art style of Jurassic Park, including this gate. It says Jurassic Park. Then mid-game, obviously you're here for the spoilers, you switch over to Jurassic World, and you start putting in the things from the first Jurassic World movie. Now, our dinosaurs are out here. Some of them are going to have permanent spaces on the board already. The helipad's here. The barriers are here. Our roads are there. You eventually get these monorails, and then this whole map fills out. When you open this up, there's nothing on here except this dinosaur, this one, and that one. And then from there, you build it out. There's obviously the Henry Wu ones like the Indoraptor and the Indominus Rex, but that's our board. That's this game. Legacy of Isla Nublar.